Dark corridors, rusting rides, silent towns frozen in time. Across the United States, forgotten places hold chilling secrets beneath their crumbling walls and broken windows. Each location in this countdown carries a disturbing legacy. Murders unsolved, towns burned from below, and institutions where cries for help were never heard. These aren't just relics of the past. They're the stuff of nightmares. From twisted legends to real-life horrors, what remains is a ghostly echo of what once was. If you think you've seen creepy, think again. These are America's most bone-chilling abandoned places, and their stories are anything but dead. If you're new to USA Revealed, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Number 10. Camp Hero, Montauk, New York. On the far eastern tip of Long Island lies Camp Hero, a decommissioned military base that looks like something straight out of a sci-fi horror movie. Built during World War II, it was disguised as a fishing village to confuse enemy spies. But it's what allegedly happened beneath the surface that has sparked decades of suspicion. Whispers of mind control, teleportation, and even time travel have surrounded this place for years, claims fueled by former employees and conspiracy theorists. The now crumbling radar tower still looms over the property, a haunting reminder of the Cold War era and the secretive operations that reportedly occurred there. The base is so infamous, it became the inspiration for Netflix's Stranger Things, and it's easy to see why. Overgrown pathways lead to sealed-off bunkers, rusting gates, and strange underground entrances. Visitors report an unnerving sense of being watched even when alone. While the U.S. government denies anything out of the ordinary, the stories persist. Camp Hero isn't just a relic of military history, it's one of America's most chilling modern legends. Number 9. Six Flags New Orleans, Louisiana. Once filled with laughter, music, and the scent of popcorn, Six Flags New Orleans now stands eerily silent. When Hurricane Katrina struck in 2005, the park was submerged under floodwaters for over a month, destroying nearly everything in its path. What's left is a surreal wasteland of decaying roller coasters, shattered signs, and moss-covered walkways. Nature has reclaimed the grounds. Vines creep over broken benches, trees grow through cracks in the pavement, and wild animals roam where families once lined up for rides. The skeletal remains of the Megazeph coaster loom against the skyline, rusted and frozen mid-motion, like a monument to a forgotten time. Security fences now surround the park, but that hasn't stopped urban explorers from slipping in to document the haunting aftermath. Each visit reveals new signs of decay and the eerie feeling that time simply stopped. This abandoned amusement park isn't just a casualty of disaster. It's a chilling reminder of how quickly joy can vanish, and how even the happiest places can become ghostly memorials to loss, abandonment, and the passage of time. Number 8. Forest Haven Asylum, Laurel, Maryland. Deep in the woods outside Washington, D.C., Forest Haven was once seen as a place of hope for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. But behind its brick walls, a much darker reality unfolded. Opened in 1925, the facility quickly became notorious for overcrowding, neglect, and horrifying mistreatment. Patients were often warehoused in unsanitary conditions, receiving little to no care. Dozens of unexplained deaths were reported, many buried in unmarked graves on the property. Lives forgotten by the world outside. Even after lawsuits and federal investigations, the abuse continued for decades, finally leading to its closure in 1991. What remains is a disturbing shell of its former self. Rusted hospital beds, scattered medical records, and silent hallways where the air feels heavy with suffering. Graffiti now marks the peeling walls, but beneath the vandalism are layers of forgotten history. Many who visit claim to hear whispers, footsteps, and distant cries echoing through the halls. Whether haunted by spirits or just the weight of its own tragic legacy, Forest Haven stands as one of America's most chilling reminders of institutional failure and human neglect. Number 7. Dokesville, Choctaw County, Oklahoma. Tucked away near the Texas border lies Dokesville, a forgotten town that once stood at the heart of the Choctaw Nation. In the mid-1800s, it flourished as a bustling hub of politics, trade, and culture. Dokesville had its own schools, blacksmiths, hotels, and even a newspaper, rare achievements for a native-led settlement during that time. It served as the Choctaw capital following the forced removal known as the Trail of Tears, becoming a place of resilience and rebuilding. But after the Civil War, everything began to unravel. Economic hardships, shifting political powers, and the relocation of the tribal capital to Tuskahoma caused a slow but steady decline. By the early 1900s, Dokesville was nearly abandoned. Today, only stone foundations, crumbling chimneys, and a cemetery remain, fragments of a once vibrant legacy. Time and nature have reclaimed much of the land, but the spirits of its past linger in silence. The site now rests under the care of historians and archaeologists, who work to preserve what little is left. Dokesville isn't just a ghost town, it's a chapter of American history often overlooked, yet deeply rooted in survival, sovereignty, and strength. Number 6. Frisco, Utah. Frisco, Utah wasn't just another mining boom town. It was one of the most dangerous places in the American West. Founded in 1875 after the discovery of rich silver deposits, the town quickly grew into a bustling and chaotic hotspot. At its peak, Frisco had over 6,000 residents, dozens of saloons, gambling halls, brothels, and virtually no law enforcement. Gunfights broke out in the streets daily. Crime ran rampant. So notorious was the violence that the town eventually hired a no-nonsense marshal with orders to shoot outlaws on sight. Justice in Frisco was swift, brutal, and often final. But the wild ride came to a crashing halt in 1885, when the Horn Silver Mine, Frisco's economic lifeline, suddenly collapsed. The town's population vanished almost overnight, and what was once a roaring frontier hub fell silent. Today, scattered ruins, stone kilns, and rusting equipment are all that remain. The wind carries the ghostly remnants of gunshots, whispers of deals gone bad, and the desperate rush for fortune. Frisco isn't just abandoned, it's a forgotten scar of the Wild West, carved deep into Utah's desert landscape. Number 5, St. Elmo, Colorado. High in the Colorado Rockies sits St. Elmo, a former mining town that looks frozen in time. Founded in 1880 during the Gold and Silver Rush, it once boomed with saloons, hotels, a telegraph office, and nearly 2,000 residents. But when the mines shut down and the railroad pulled out, most of the population vanished. Yet St. Elmo never truly died. Unlike other ghost towns, many of its original wooden buildings still stand, perfectly preserved in eerie silence. Shuttered windows, dusty porches, and rusting wagons give the sense that life paused here and never resumed. Local legend adds a chilling twist. One resident, Annabelle Stark, remained long after the town emptied. Known for her eccentric behavior and fiery temper, she lived in the general store until her death. Visitors claim her spirit still lingers. Doors slam, lights flicker, and cold spots appear without warning. Tourists now wander the streets by day, but after dark, the town takes on a different tone. St. Elmo isn't just a relic of the past, it's a place caught between history and haunting, where some say the dead never really left. Number 4, Ruby, Arizona. Ruby began as a quiet mining camp in the late 1800s, tucked near the Mexican border. It grew steadily thanks to the Montana mine, which produced gold, silver, lead, and zinc. But the 1920s shattered its peace. A string of brutal murders, known as the Ruby Murders, left the town soaked in fear. In just a few years, multiple residents were violently killed, including local store owners and lawmen. The gruesome crimes sparked one of the largest manhunts in Arizona history, and the terror earned Ruby a chilling reputation that still lingers. By the 1940s, the mine was exhausted and Ruby was abandoned. What's left today are sun-bleached cabins, a jailhouse, a crumbling school, and the silent shell of a general store where some of the killings took place. Desert winds rattle the broken windows, and many say the spirits of the murdered still roam the empty streets. Ruby isn't just a forgotten mining town. It's a place marked by violence, mystery, and the weight of untold stories. Its haunting past refuses to fade, drawing the curious and the brave to confront the darkness that still lingers there. Number 3, Body, California. Body wasn't just a mining town, it was the definition of a gold rush boom. In the late 1800s, it exploded with life. attracting thousands in search of fortune. Saloons, gambling halls, opium dens, and daily gunfights gave Bodie a reputation for chaos and violence. But as the mines dried up and harsh winters set in, residents fled. By the early 20th century, Bodie was all but deserted. What's left is one of the best preserved ghost towns in America. Homes still have furniture inside, school books remain on desks, and bottles sit on bar counters, untouched for over a century. But Bodie comes with a warning. Locals speak of a curse. Anyone who takes an artifact from the site, no matter how small, is said to be struck with terrible luck. Rangers at the State Historic Park regularly receive returned items in the mail, often with letters detailing illness, accidents, or personal tragedy. Whether it's superstition or something more, Bodie's eerie stillness and haunted energy leave a lasting impression. It's more than a ghost town. It's a place that warns in its silence not to disturb the past. Number 2. Centriia, Pennsylvania. Beneath the quiet hills of Pennsylvania, a fire has been raging for over 60 years. In 1962, a blaze ignited in an abandoned coal mine beneath the town of Centriia, and it never stopped. The underground inferno spread through a vast network of coal seams, releasing toxic gases and causing the ground to crack and collapse without warning. Roads buckled, smoke poured from the earth, and homes began to sink. Officials evacuated the town over the following decades, buying out residents and demolishing buildings. Today, only a handful of people remain, refusing to leave what's left of their homes. Most of Centriia is gone, erased from maps, stripped of its ZIP code, and swallowed by the fire beneath. Walking through the area feels unsettling. Steam hisses from fissures in the ground. Graffiti marks the remnants of old Route 61, and silence stretches across empty streets once filled with life. What caused the fire is still debated, but what's certain is that Centriia became a ghost town, not from war or decay, but from something burning relentlessly out of sight beneath everyone's feet. Number 1. Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Louisville, Kentucky. Waverly Hills Sanatorium stands as a grim reminder of one of America's darkest medical chapters. Built in 1910 to treat tuberculosis, the hospital became notorious not just for the number of lives it failed to save, but for the way it dealt with death. As the disease spread, so did the body count. Thousands died within its walls. The sanatorium's infamous body chute was created to discreetly remove the deceased from the building, sparing visitors and staff from the grim sight of constant death. This tunnel, once a necessary part of daily life, has since become an emblem of the suffering endured here. Today, Waverly Hills is regarded as one of the most haunted places in America. The oppressive history of illness, pain, and death has left a lingering presence. Paranormal investigators from around the world flock to the site, drawn by reports of ghostly apparitions, disembodied voices, and other eerie phenomena. It's not just a place of history, it's a place where the past refuses to stay buried, and the spirits of the lost still wander. These abandoned places are not merely ruins, they are haunting reminders of America's forgotten histories, each one telling stories of loss, mystery, and the supernatural. If this journey into America's eerie history captured your attention, be sure to subscribe for more chilling explorations. Feel free to comment with your thoughts or experiences and share this video with others. Don't forget to subscribe to USA Revealed and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos.